Let's turn to Sajjan Gohel. He is joining us live via Skype. He is the International Security Director for the Asia Pacific Foundation. That's a global security think tank. Let me start there. How big a breakthrough is this for anti-terror operations in Europe, would you say?
To put it into perspective, I would say this is the most significant counterterrorism operation against ISIS globally, because up till now, senior members of ISIS have usually been killed in drone strikes in Syria and Iraq. Some have died in the pursuit of carrying out an attack. It's very rare that somebody would be captured alive, and let alone someone like Abdel Salam, who is so senior within ISIS, a key cog, an organizer, a logistics man, someone who could provide vital intelligence as to how ISIS is constructed in Europe. So this is very significant.
And he was caught alive. How shocking is that to you, given this history that you just talked about? So many of them killed.
Well, certainly a lot of these individuals profess the desire to be so-called martyrs for their cause, yet Abdel Salam is more keen on staying alive. He's had numerous opportunities since the Paris attacks to carry out subsequent plots, but he's preferred to lie low, to stay out of the limelight, keep himself hidden with the support of people in Molenbeek. Now, it's clear that some people who want to try and do the indoctrination to others to kill and be killed are less wanting to do that themselves. So that illustrates that he views his own life as very important. And it's something now that is potentially backfired, because he will be interrogated, he will end up providing information, and there'll be a lot of nervous people within ISIS wondering what information he'll provide.
Given how heinous this crime was, are you surprised that he was able to stay on the loose for this long? And what does that say about the potential for other ISIL operatives to be out there undetected in Europe?
Well, certainly it's been 4 months since the Paris attacks, and you could say it was audacious, the fact that he's been hiding in Belgium. He didn't disappear to Syria or Iraq, but it also is illustrative as to how much of a safe haven Belgium actually is. In many ways, it is the logistical center for ISIS operations in Europe, and that raises worrying situation as to what's going on internally in Belgium, socially, politically, and also the security dynamics. How are the community there interacting with the police? There seems to be a trust deficit. It means that there are individuals who may not take part in acts of terrorism, but they support ISIS and they will harbor people like Abdel Salam, because Molenbeek is where he's from. And it seems that he was very happy to stay there. And I guess it illustrates just the fact that there might be more individuals connected to ISIS dispersed throughout Europe. So it is a positive story that he's been captured alive, but this is the beginning of a new chapter rather than the ending of a story.
So how much wider, how much bigger do you think it is?
ISIS fighters who fled Europe have boasted that there are dozens of their fellow comrades dispersed across Europe. And we know that they have been using Europe, turning it from being a playground for terrorism into a potential battleground. And the Paris attacks last year illustrated that. So this is an uphill treadmill for the authorities. For every individual they capture, there are at least another 5 coming along the assembly line. And one has to stop the recruitment and radicalization, because otherwise there will be other individuals that will simply replace Abdel Salam.
What is the most important information that can be gleaned from his arrest? As you start to interrogate him, what are the things they're going to hone in on, do you think?
It would be interesting to know that how does he communicate with other ISIS members in Europe? They obviously use different types of encrypted technology. What are those? Equally, what safe houses are there across Europe? Where is the logistical trail? How do they get from Europe into Syria? And also, importantly, is that how much is the network to the headquarters of ISIS in Raqqa? Who in particular are they communicating with? There are a lot of important intelligence questions that need to be gleaned from this individual. It's likely that the French authorities, who are now seeking his extradition, are the ones that will try and procure that information.
It'll be fascinating to see what comes out of it. Thank you so much for joining us from London. Really appreciate it.